Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Abhi,
I'm Sunghee.
and welcome to Founders Note. We're the founders at Bean Voyage, and we're just excited to chat with you and bring you another episode of Founders Note. We don't do this all the time; it's not a regular podcast, but we just try to come back and share a little bit about our journey. We've been doing this for like 9 years, right, Sangeet? That's what it's been a while.
Yeah, actually quite crazy to think. Yeah,
I think we
moving
started
fast.
2017. Anyways, so yeah, we just really talk to each other like podcast go like guests and hosts, and we switch. So I'm gonna talk to Sungi today. Sungi, welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to be here with you. Very
Yeah, it's
excited.
always fun to record these in this format. Well,
Yeah.
Sungi, this is a big week. It's a week that we heard this announcement that BV is one of the winners of the is the winner of the Sustainability Award at the Specialty Coffee Association. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's first of all, obviously you're literally pinching our chicks every now and then, right? It's like one of those moments where you're like, is that really true? Because it's a big recognition. We are very proud of, especially I think to be representing the communities that we work with and the producer partners and everyone that we work with to be recognized at an industry level as such is a big thing. And I think because it's such a big thing, and we never really thought that we would make it. And I think every now and then we're literally pinching our cheeks and saying, like, are we really the winner? And at the same time, very grateful and humbled by this recognition for sure. I think we've admired all of the past winners and we learn constantly from their work. Root Capital, Michael Sheridan, Trade, I think, was the last year's winner. These organizations have been around for so long and we've learned so much. And being a small and younger organization and to be recognized at this level feels quite special. And I think this year it's even more special because the for-profit category winner is our partner and friends at Coffee Circle. So I think winning together with them is also what's making it quite meaningful. And yeah, I was just say like feeling really, really grateful and full in our heart. Yeah.
Yeah,
How
the
about
word
you?
gratitude. No, yeah, like the word gratitude has come up quite a bit for us, I think, as a team. Yesterday, well, the announcement was made like a couple of days ago, but yesterday as a team, we were having a moment of celebration, a moment of talking about it. And I think for us, we took the time to give gratitude to external folks. Like everyone in the team brought out names of people that have been with the organization from the beginning. And I think that was a very like sentimental moment for the team, I think, to think about all the different people that have made the organization that it is today. And we're still just like really getting started, right? To think that the first time we went to an SCA expo was in 2019, right? Like the first time we ever were exposed to this world of coffee and the world of specialty coffee and actually being involved. And think that in like short 6, 7 years now, being able to actually build a model that's defining and hopefully actually building a model for others to learn from as well is something that's truly inspiring. So yeah, I feel very grateful as well. I also felt a bit stuck because we don't always like work. Obviously, our work is not focused around winning awards, and so we don't really know what to do when something like this happens. So you're just kind of like trying to figure out like, should we be doing something at this point? And that's partly why we have this is we actually have this to just say like we want to talk about this and really give gratitude to folks who are watching this. If you're watching this, if you've watched the first 4 minutes
Yeah,
of this, you're probably someone that is dear to our heart, has been supporting us, has been guiding our work, advising, mentoring us. And so just a big thank you from the entire Bean Voyage team and our community for believing and supporting in this work.
for sure. Thank Also, yeah, I think there was also like this sense of like overwhelmingness of like, wow, this is amazing, and then what not? And I think internally talking a lot about how yes, recognition is very meaningful and important, and we want to like take the time to celebrate it. And we know that external validation isn't the only goal that we have as an organization, right? It's like it's great to have it accompany us as we get to the vision of working with 100,000 farmers by the 2030. So yeah, I think that's also kind of like important that we don't lose that sight and then only like get fixated on like the external validation. But regardless, it's so special and it's so big and so yeah.
No, no, for sure. Well, now we're gonna switch gear because are not great at talking about these kind of topics. So we're going to switch gear, and I want to talk
Yes.
to you like two things that I think has been exciting. The first one is actually happening very shortly. It's next week. The team will be attending the World of Coffee in San Diego. It's going to
Mm,
be next weekend, Thursday, well Friday I guess next weekend, April 9th
mm.
to the 11th, 12th. I'm getting the dates mixed up, but essentially next weekend. Talk to us or folks who are watching this about who's going, what's happening, how is Bean Voyage going to be there, and how can
Yeah.
people maybe connect with us?
Yeah, we're very excited to be representing our work at the SCA. Like the previously it was called the SCA Expo, and this year they rebranded it to be the Coffee San Diego. Between the 10th of 12th of April, that's the conference. Itzel and I are going in representation of the work that we do, and we will be also receiving the SCA Sustainability Awards there. And it's there's a lot of movement and things that we are planning. There are a couple of exciting events that we're hosting. We are going to be popping up also at various booths throughout the weekend, and the exact schedule is something that we're going to be posting soon on our Instagram. If you're not following already, which is unlikely, right? You can find us at Bin Voyage Coffee on Instagram and LinkedIn, and we are going to be posting our pop-up schedule where we're going to be brewing coffee and meeting you and having time to chat. Two events that I want to call out and that we are really excited to be hosting. One is the Women Power Coffee Stories event that we are bringing back. Last year we hosted it in Houston, and this year we're hosting it again around the World of Coffee. That's happening on April 10th, the first day, Friday, in the evening at 6 p.m. At our friends roastery, Mnemonic Coffee. So it's an event that we're collaborating also with the Kellogg Foundation as well as the folks from the Nuke community, Los Altos Group. And we're very excited to highlight seven incredible stories of women who are leading really big differences and change in the current coffee industry, and hear their personal stories, not a pitch, a business idea, but actually to get to know their stories through a fun pecha kucha format that we've been using for this kind of event. So we're very excited to be bringing that on Friday to San Diego, and it will be happening again on Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. There'll be snacks, and then mingling moments for us to kind of like network afterwards as well.
And this is a sold out event at this point, right? There are tickets available.
Yeah, it's already sold out only. Like we've kept it at like 40 people, I think 35 to 40 people, and including the organizers, we've already sold out. There's a waiting list you can join. The link you can find on our social media. But yeah, that's kind of like what's happening. But we are very regardless, we are excited. We'll have some photos and stories coming out from there, and we'll share that. We'll be sure to share it with you. And then the second event that I wanted to also highlight is the Women Power Coffee Manifesto workshop. It's our third time hosting it, right? We've hosted it in Berlin. We've also hosted it in Madrid. We are planning another ones in this part of the world, and this is like the one of the first one for the Americas, where we're going to be hosting it at the Stay House. It's an off-site venue. The information about how to get there is also again available on our social. That's scheduled for Sunday, the last day, between 1 to 3 p.m. It's a smaller workshop or more of a conversation session where we're going to be engaging with what we are currently calling the Women Power Coffee Manifesto to collectively build on what it means to have a trust-based relationship and trust-based trade in the coffee industry. We've started with had like 6 pillars to begin with, and the folks in Berlin, the folks in Madrid had kind of like put their input, and we are now going to be looking at that together, and then further building on that. And that the final version of the manifesto will be hosted or will be shared publicly at the Women Power Coffee Summit in October in San Cristobal de las Casas in Chiapas. So you can follow the whole journey and then hear about how it's evolved at the end of the year in Chiapas with us.
It's truly quite a unique conversation. I've been part of those two workshops, and both of these events very unique. One is focused on storytelling, one is more focused around kind of communal learning, informing, and building a manifesto. And it's been really fun. I'm obviously biased because I'm part of the organization, but it's also been really fun to like observe and like be part of those workshops as well. So, and I think for this second workshop, there will be tickets available, so you can definitely sign up, especially if you didn't make it to the first event. You can come to the second one. It's one on Friday, one on Sunday. So we hope to see you there. And okay, cool. Thanks for sharing that, Sungi. Really appreciate it. I want to wrap up by talking about the end of quarter, right? So this is the end of the first quarter. We actually just a couple of hours ago had our team meeting. where every quarter we look at our different objectives and key results and really try to analyze like what's worked well, what's been challenging, what we're going to try to do differently, what we're going to try to do less of. We don't have time to dive deeper into it. Hopefully, maybe we do another episode in the future where we like deep dive into our strategy process and we tell people how we do it. But maybe just to like wrap up, I'd love to hear like what was your like biggest highlight from this last quarter between yeah, like quarter one basically. What's your biggest highlight?
Yeah, yeah, that's a great question. Quarter one already, I think we've been like internally reflecting around how it felt like 3 years and like 3 months time. Quite like it, so much has happened. And I think there are specific highlights that I still want to call on. And I think it felt like a lot because we were doing a lot. And I think in a way that kind of now coming out of Q1, like we're in a much better place of like, okay, we have like the foundation of like what we're gonna be doing like the rest of our year on a little bit stronger. And I think that is huge thanks to the team retreat that we hosted in February, like the country heads as well as us. The group of the team was actually traveling for about 3 weeks, meeting different partners in Hardenango de Chiapas and also we were in San Cristobal and then Mexico City to really meet different stakeholders and partners. Spend time, I think more importantly, spend time together to really dive deeper into the strategy document that we published last year, and then making some tweaks to make sure that everyone and everything was aligning. And I think that process was long. We were working and constantly talking about work for, except for the time that we were sleeping, we were constantly talking for 3 weeks in a row. Like just imagine that, right? Like that was like a lot. And I think sometimes like the two of us are used to it and we feel like, I don't know, I feel a little bit bad sometimes for the teammates who are like not used to it. They come to it, they're like, oh my God, can we just like stop talking about work? But then I think at the end of the day, like we do it because we're so passionate and we like get inspired. Like we go to an art show and we get inspired by it. And then we're like, okay, we need to do this at the summit. And I think it's just like a constant thing. We try to like take a break and do something fun. And then we come back and talk about how that can be applied. And probably, I don't know, like it would be really interesting to have them on one of these podcasts and like actually chat with them. But I really say that was my like highlight. And
Hmm.
really put structure and like clarity to a lot of the things and ideas that we had as a team,
Mm.
with the boards and with the community that we built on. And now in front of us is more of an action plan that's ahead of us, and I'm very excited. And I know it's gonna be eventually be public, and we have like their visions around our goals in 2030, how we want to work with 100,000 farmers, and how we're gonna get not directly always, like until now we've been doing a lot of the work through direct delivery, but now we're actually looking at training of trainer model and catalyst model is how we are calling it, and the way that we want to actually continue to play the role of like building the ecosystem and influencing the ecosystem through the summit as well as coalition building, and how we want to kind of like continue doing it. So it's more of like our dream written in a paper. Some of the ideas that we think will work, and I think that the whole idea is that we will follow the overall structure, right? But at the same time, like we as a lean organization will continue to try, make mistakes and learn and then improve and so forth. So I think that whole process for me was a highlight. Yeah. I know I spoke a lot. So like I would love to also hear your highlight.
Yeah, this was a big one. You know, we just finished writing our like quarterly letter, which we also, as you mentioned, we love talking about the work we're doing, not in a sense like how great it is, but actually to like critically think about
Yeah.
it. And so we write monthly newsletters, we write quarterly newsletters, we do like podcast style videos. We also talk to other people about it. So clearly passion is a big part of our life. And Bean Veg is a big part of our life, of course. I think the biggest thing that stands out, I think the team retreat and like the time where we really went through like the different stages of design thinking and we use human-centered design for all program designs and like whether it's the summit, whether it's the farmer school, we've always had it at the core. And at the same time, doing it together as a team is actually quite different, right? So it was a big learning opportunity to like almost re-envision what the organization will look like and how do we set it up for the 100,000 goals that we have for the next 5 years. So that was a really a big moment for me. I'd say the other highlight, maybe if I can offer a different one too, is that I think this quarter we were very, very like focused and we worked really hard. And these are two very like broad general terms, but it really like was obvious throughout the quarter, like moments where it was really difficult. Like we have had challenges with like fundraising at the beginning of the year. You know, a lot of global fundraising efforts have been, it's been more complicated, just to say the least, right? And so there've been moments of like where do we go? And I think, like, I would imagine that if this was any other organization or team in facing kind of similar situations, like maybe the conversations would have been different. For us, it was never about like questioning whether we're going to continue this or not, or whether we can, like, see this big picture or not. It was always about the big picture. It was always obvious that we had a vision. And we continue to have a vision. And so then the question was like, how do we then get there? And then we went back to this very creative process of like really redefining things, reworking things, pivoting in areas where we needed to, being sharper, being clearer, being like I think it's like it was one of the highlight moments of this quarter in the beginning of the year. Within like the first 12 days of the year, we had three different versions of our strategy document because so much was happening so fast, right? And like now I think we're in the seventh version of it, and like so like it went from like a peak, like really high peak, and then like kind of like a little bit more calm now and stable. And obviously the version we're going to put out there and it'll be on our website very shortly is essentially the latest version, but it's a living version. It's a document that will be online and will be updated too. So we're not going to just like say here's a strategy and then we'll forget about it. So I think that period of like working really hard, being very creative, being very like clear and sharp was really fun, despite the fact that it was challenging. So for me, that like kind of stands out as like a big part of this quarter as well. And like you, I'm so excited for this upcoming quarter and the upcoming part of the year. I feel like it went from a place of like a few uncertainties here and there to now a place of like so much excitement, so much energy, so much new like momentum moving into the next year. And yeah, I think if 10 people comment on this video and say they want to hear more, we'll definitely come back in a few months, maybe like
Only 10 people.
if 10 people watch this till like the 18th minute and say like, yeah, I want to hear more, we'll definitely come back and share more about this, maybe, once a quarter, or maybe once in a while, because we do believe, and we've always believed, that we have to build transparently, build openly, build with you as a community. Granted, the last couple of years we've not been able to do it as frequently, but we are really committed to that. So let us know if you want to continue watching. You don't have to like or subscribe. Promise you don't have to do any of that. You can just let us know if you want to watch some more of this, and we'll definitely come back and email it out to you every quarter. Sinky, any final words before we say goodbye for today's episode?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing as well. I think it's always good to like chat about things and what's on our mind. I think just wanted to like reiterate how grateful we feel about this community. Again, like I know like there will be different celebrations that comes for this award and so forth, but I just wanted to kind of really, because that's the team and how we've been talking about it is without the community that's behind the work that we do, we won't be here and we won't be doing the work that we do, right? So just wanted to really like share this heartfelt gratitude for believing in us and trusting in the work that we do as much as we do. And even when at times when things are not looking that great and we are ourselves challenging that thought itself and questioning. I think it was always this community that held us back. So I know it sounds very cheesy and very cliche, but I think I just wanted to like really reiterate and say we feel very grateful. So thank you.
Thank you. Really appreciate all of you watching this and being a part of this community. And thank you, Sinky, for being on the hot seat of the podcast today. We'll see you next time. Till then, take care. Thanks for being here. Bye.
Don't forget about the 10 comments. Bye, everyone.